A series of wildfires have ravaged the island of Maui, destroying structures, forcing evacuations, and closing schools in several communities. Some residents had to jump into the ocean to escape the smoke and flames, while others sought shelter in emergency centers. The wildfires were fanned by strong winds, partly associated with Hurricane Dora passing hundreds of miles to the south of the island chain. The National Weather Service said the hurricane was partly to blame for gusts above 60 miles per hour that knocked out power as night fell on Tuesday, rattled homes and grounded firefighting helicopters. Dangerous fire conditions, created by strong winds and low humidity, were expected to last through Wednesday afternoon. The U.S. Coast Guard responded to areas where people went into the ocean to escape the fire and smoky conditions. The County of Maui said in a statement. The Coast Guard tweeted that a crew rescued 12 people from the water off Lahaina. A firefighter responding to the West Maui Fire was taken to a hospital after experiencing smoke inhalation and was in stable condition. Fire was widespread in Lahaina, including Front Street, an area of the town popular with tourists, County of Maui spokesperson Mahina Martin said in a phone interview early Wednesday. Traffic was very heavy as people tried to evacuate and officials asked people who weren't in an evacuation area to shelter in place to avoid adding to the traffic too. The county tweeted that multiple roads in Lahaina were closed with a warning, "Do not go to Lahaina town." Acting government Sylvia Luke issued an emergency proclamation on behalf of Governor Josh Green, who is traveling, and activated the Hawaii National Guard. Officials were not aware of any deaths and knew of only one injury too. There was no count available for the number of structures affected by the fires or the number of people affected by evacuations, but Martin said there were 4 shelters open, with more than 1,000 people at the largest. "This is so unprecedented," Martin said, noting that multiple districts were affected. "An emergency in the night is terrifying," she said, "and the darkness makes it hard to gauge the extent of the damage. Right now it is all hands on deck and we are anxious for daybreak," she said. Fire crews on Maui were battling blazes concentrated in 2 areas, the popular tourist destination of West Maui and an inland mountainous region. It was not immediately known how many buildings had burned. Because of wind gusts, helicopters were not able to dump water on the fires from the sky or gauge more precise fire sizes 3. Firefighters were encountering roads blocked by downed trees and power lines as they worked the inland fires 3. About 13,000 in Maui were without power, Hawaiian Electric reported. The fire can be a mile or more from your house, but in a minute or 2, it can be at your house, said the Fire Department Assistant Chief Jeff Gizia. Much of Hawaii was under a red flag warning that continued Wednesday, and 2 other uncontrolled fires were burning on the Big Island and Maui. Officials said. The Federal Emergency Management Agency approved a disaster declaration to provide assistance with a fire that threatened about 200 homes in and around Kohala Ranch, a rural community with a population of more than 500 on the Big Island. When the request was made, the fire had burned more than 600 acres, 243 hectares, and was uncontained. The wildfires have caused widespread damage and disruption on Maui, one of Hawaii's most popular tourist destinations. Residents and visitors are urged to follow evacuation orders and stay away from affected areas until the situation is under